Gekkan Shoujo, Nozaki kun, episode 2. This episode was pretty funny. We get introduced to some new characters. Same basic plot line, you know. It's still Sakura trying to get closer to Nozaki kun, but we get introduced to some new characters. Mainly a guy who does like background effects and stuff like that. He's kind of like a he is one of Nozaki's assistants, but yeah, for the most part he just does like background effects and things of that nature though. So I don't know if that's an actual term for that within the manga world and all that type of stuff, but he pretty much just does backgrounds and stuff. So that's his character, but his name is Mikoshiba, but he's referred to as Mikorin, you know what I'm saying, for the most part. And his character is a guy who's at first I thought he was like a douche fuck. I was like, this dude seems like an asshole, but it turns out he's just a super tsundere. He's like a guy, pretty much, he's a guy with the most female tendencies ever. Like, so much so that his personality was what Nozaki based the female lead in his manga. You know what I'm saying? So this, like, when I saw this guy, I was just like, ugh, this dude right here is a fucking asshole. But he's not. He's like, he says one thing, but he means the opposite thing, and he gets embarrassed by his own words because he's loved by all of the girls in the school, and he says all this cheesy ass one-liner shit, but he's embarrassed to say it himself. You know what I'm saying? So after he says it or whatever, he'll fucking turn red with embarrassment. So I was just like, what the hell? You know what I'm saying? Like, it fucked me up. You know what I'm saying? So another like moment of his character was he said, don't ask me about, he was talking to Sakura, he's like, don't ask me about anything if you don't understand it, because I hate having to deal with trivial little bullshit like that. And she said, okay. And she went about the rest of her day not asking him help involving any fucking thing, and he walked around pacing that room like a little child, waiting for her to ask, because that's exactly what he wanted. He wanted her to ask. So he's kind of like a tsundere male character, which is weird to see in an anime form, but I guess because this is supposed to be based on a shoujo manga, they can do stuff like that because he's a male. So to see the male with the tsundere kind of factors, that's kind of weird. And we also get introduced to a female character whose name is Sayo, and she is like, she does all this fucked up shit and doesn't know that she's doing it. You know what I'm saying? So that was weird to me too, because like in one particular scene, like she's like carrying a stack of papers with Nozaki or whatever, and she literally like walks like right past someone's camera as they're taking a group photo, and she steps on a banner, footprints just tracking the banner, and she like walks in between them dude like a girl giving a boy a love letter. I'm just like, wow, well, she doesn't realize that she's doing all this shit. So it's just kind of weird and funny to see that she has no idea, you know what I'm saying, that she's fucking up that bad. And that's kind of what her character is. She's a character who's good for the most part. She has a good heart for the most part. She wants to help people for the most part, but she's unbelievably oblivious to the fact that she's fucking up. Like, that's kind of what her character is. And Nozaki was watching her because the suggestion of Sakura that Sayo would be a good person to kind of model into one of his new characters, because he has a hard time drawing new characters. He keeps recycling his old characters, and so Sakura suggested that he watch her friend because her friend kind of had a unique personality. So there's a person that he can model a new character after or whatever, and he gets some inspiration from her. We don't necessarily see him draw anything, but he gets some inspiration from her, you know, because in his mind he sees what kind of person she is, but he's completely fucking wrong for the most part, you know what I'm saying? And that's kind of what this episode was. There's still a little moment between Sakura and Nozaki, but for the most part he's still oblivious, and she's still, you know, crushing on him real hard. So again, I love the series. I think it's funny as shit. I think episode 1 was funnier than this one because this episode was trying to introduce these two new characters. So after this, it might, you know what I'm saying, go back to being the comedic shit that it was in episode 1. You know what I'm saying? Unless they introduce some more characters, which I don't know yet. If they introduce some more characters, then we might have to wait for a bit unless these characters are just like outlandishly funny. But episode 1 was funny. This episode was cool too, but like I said, it was really meant to highlight these characters' background. So there's that, you know. But I enjoyed this episode, like I said. And in case you're wondering what the fuck I was doing just then, I turned down my TV, and in case you're wondering what I was watching, I am rewatching episode 1 of Tokyo Ghoul, if you can see that. That is episode 1 of Tokyo Ghoul. I'm rewatching that. It was pretty good. It was pretty good, so I gotta rewatch that though, man. I just kind of wait to see, you know what I'm saying, what's gonna happen with that series. But yeah, man, if you enjoyed Gekkan Shoujo, Nozaki kun, please let me know. I love it. I think it's funny. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, I haven't seen anything that made me genuinely laugh like that since Engaged to the Unidentified. You know what I'm saying? So it's good to have a comedy series like that, though, man. Especially one that has hints of romance to it. And I just recently watched something else. I might talk about it, but I don't know if I want to talk about episode 1 yet. So I gotta at least watch episode 2. Then I decide to talk about both episode 1 and 2. But this is Fashion Stampede. Gone.